Alright, so we're going to do a quick video on hatching quail eggs. So let's start at the beginning. Normally, throughout the year, I have one male and 6 or 7 females. Quail are very much like chickens in that you need one rooster for a large amount of females. But when I want to get fertilized eggs, like this group right here, the rooster is the brown and white bird over on the far right. And I put 4 females with him, and I'll leave them together for about a month, and I'll start collecting their eggs after 3 weeks. And this ensures that we're going to get a much higher rate of fertility because unfertile eggs don't hatch. All right, so then step 2 is the incubator. Now this incubator is a rather large one. It'll do about 122 chickens. And as you can see, it's already on day 9, but that doesn't matter. It's time for me to turn the eggs. The key is the first 5 days, you want to have the humidity level at around 50% or lower. The reason for this is because the air sac inside the eggs is forming, and if you have the humidity too high, it'll draw more moisture into the egg and you won't have a big enough air sac, and then that's the first air that the chicks poke through and breathe when they're trying to hatch, and if they don't have enough air to breathe, they won't have enough time to hatch out of the eggs. So keeping it under 50% for the first 5 days, and then after the 5th day, on day 6, you can go ahead and not be so concerned about the humidity, and it can be above 50%. I still try to keep it 50-60% all the way up until around the 13th 14th day. So what we're going to do right now is explain the need for turning the eggs. We've tried in the past to do a no-turn method, and we did have some success. Some eggs hatched. We have tried using the automatic turners, and that actually gave us the worst hatch rate. So what I've done is just done away with all of that. So I'm going to remove the top. And see the eggs inside. So what I do is once every 12 hours, just turn all the eggs. Just make sure that they're in a new position. Pretty similar to what the mother would do. Roll them around and change their position. And what this does is it prevents the yolk and the egg that's forming the membrane around the baby chickens from getting stuck to one side of the egg, and allows the chick to keep developing evenly so that hopefully it doesn't have any deformed wings or feet or anything from laying on one side the entire time. And it's not anything too complicated. And what I've found is by doing this once every 12 hours, that my hatch rate has been in the 80th percentile. And generally the only eggs that aren't hatching are if I have some that are unfertilized, or very rarely having any that are dying early in their development. Alright, so the blue eggs are from celadons. The male that you saw in the beginning of the video is actually a celadon male, and that is a recessive trait that they need to have 2 copies of, and then they'll produce blue eggs. So I'm trying to increase the number of birds that I have that lay celadon. Another interesting thing is that quail eggs, each female quail lays an egg that has its own unique pattern, and no two are the same. They're just like fingerprints. So I can tell that I've got a couple eggs from one female right there, three of her eggs, and so on. So you can, it's just an interesting little fact. Um, so anyway, we have this. Now we're on day 9, and once I hit about day 13 and a half, day 14 at the very beginning, what I'm going to do is add a lot of water to this and try to increase the humidity to 80% or higher. And what this will do, quail eggs hatch around day 16. And what this will do is this will help soften the eggshell and make it a little bit easier for the birds to hatch. Unfortunately, not all birds that go through complete development are able to hatch. It's like the first test in life. The strong are able to get out of the eggs and able to move. Um, One other thing is this is a really large incubator. Like I said, it can do 122 chicken eggs, and we're doing, 28 quail eggs. It can have, even though it's an enclosed space, it can have slight temperature changes from the center to the outside or from the top to the bottom, and also slight differences in humidity. And in the past, what this has caused is we have birds hatching on day 15, day 16, day 17, and you can't leave the baby birds inside the incubator for 3 days, or the ones that hatch first will end up dying. We leave them in there for about 12 hours till they're dry, and then we want to remove them and put them into the brooder box under the heater. So this caused some problems because every time we want to take out the birds that have already hatched, you already have other eggs that are still in the process of hatching. Then you shrink wrap them, and those birds aren't able to get out. So by keeping them all close together in the center, what we've done is increase the likelihood that they'll all hatch within a 12-hour period, and we won't have any losses because of having to open up the incubator to take out baby birds. It's about all I can think of at this point in time. I'll post a follow-up video and let everybody know how the hatching went. And also, the moment that these are done hatching and out and in the brooder box, we're going to start incubating goose eggs because we have Landis geese and they're laying eggs right now, and we've been waiting on quail eggs first. And that's a slightly different process. It's a little more intensive and requires a little more care than what the quail eggs do. And should be pretty interesting. So, have any questions, let me know.